Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. We love streaming here at the Wandering Community. That's me, I'm the Wandering Community. And you're the Wandering Community. And Epsilon, he's the Wandering Community. We're all the Wandering Community. Okay, what do you think of Giant Robot Man? Yo, he's a giant robot, but he's only the upper half of a giant robot. Yeah, that's right. He's a... I don't know. So, where are we? Up next is, stuff. Stuff indeed. Indeed, indeed. Oh boy, how do I test for... book. Yeah, it's gotta be a spell book, I'm afraid. Okay. Whew. I don't think there's another way to do that. If there's another way to make an Eldritch Blast, I'd love to hear it. Before that, though, we have something interesting. Huh. You ever heard of quicksand? Quicksand. There might, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Oh well. Let's try this again. But with one final ingredient. Okay, everybody's favorite quicksand. Quicksand. Welcome to the quicksand stream, Delta. In this stream, we make quicksand in Minecraft. Sand, but it's quicksand. You know? Yeah, quicksand. Everybody's favorite superpower, quicksand. Is it gonna work? Yo! Look at that. Oh no. What seems to be the problem, officer? Okay, the sand disappeared. Why is that? Was it too close to the floor? That was probably the reason why. No, it's not too close to the floor. Look at that, you can't even tell. You can't even tell. What the heck? Why does that happen? No.
Hey guys, welcome.
That's silly. You can't trick me, Delta. I see. So it's a bedrock only thing. Oh well. Look at the funny sand go. Look at it go! Whee! Funny sand. Goodbye, sand. Never again. Never again. Never again. Rest in peace. What the heck? I was not aware of this. New Zero Tick Farm? New Zero Tick Farm! Woo! Whatever. No quicksand today. Quicksand is lame. And I can't figure it out. Oh boy. Now, how are we gonna do this? Huh. It's actually quite big. We don't want that. Okay, so what do we want? Delta thinks he's onto something. Oh, that's okay. Stone Ocean is out. Stone Ocean do be out. Okay. How do I make the lifespan longer? What the heck? Okay, -1. Oh, look at that. Look at that, I'm a dragon. Yeah, that's not what we want. That's not Eldritch Blast. No, not even close. Okay, so... Isn't there a way to make a spear? Particles, Minecraft, Cloud, one, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. Speed of 0, count 100, force. No, not a composter. No. Yeah, we don't want composters. In fact, ooh. Huh. You know what carrots are? Carrots are carrots. Huh. Carrots do be carrots. Speed of 0. Haha! It's a sphere. I made a sphere in Minecraft. Now let's get a different effect to make it look better. Flame. Fireball. That's a fireball. Okay. And then here's an Eldritch Blast. Boom. Look at that. Look at my Eldritch Blast. It isn't... It's probably not gonna work. Oh well. It was worth a shot at least. So if we constantly make this thing... Okay. How do I do that? I don't know how to mess with particles. The big ball of Minecraft. It doesn't work the way I want it to, but it's a big ball. So, yeah. That's cool. This isn't gonna work at all. Look at that. This would be good for like a big like smoke screen. I used to have to make this bigger. So 1, 1, 1. See? Smoke screen. We could do that. We could do that, Delta 10,000. Yo, look at that. Just imagine a smoke bomb now. And then you get the invisibility effect. Yo, that would be cool. And then instead of cozy smoke, how about signal smoke? There isn't really much of a difference, is there? This lasts longer. So this happens and then you get invisibility. Yeah, like a ninja. That'd be cool. Anyways, how do I make an energy blast in Minecraft? You know what? What if we watched a YouTube video? Minecraft commands how to make an energy blast. Energy blast. That will be fun, right? Oh, actually, this guy.
End of tutorial is what I thought this video was going to be. Turns out there's a lot more to the particle command than you might think. Today, we're going to
similar to the raycasting thing. Let's find out.
Basics. How to make particles appear.
How to make particles appear.
Wiggle around. And
this is
then I'll show you the advanced stuff that Mojang really
Legitimus.
To hide from you. By the way, if you find this video helpful and want to see more,
yo,
make sure you're subscribed.
Yo, I'm subscribed and I hit that bell notification. I'm cool.
Particles. It's not too complicated, except for the fact that it has about 40 billion arguments.
Yeah.
Some of which aren't even listed in-game. Don't worry though, all we need to start out is a name and a pause.
Yeah.
In fact, the particles, all we need to start out is a name.
How does he have an infinite sphere?
Name and a pause. In fact,
that's
the
cool.
Particle command can actually be run as just /particle name. Let's try it. After I type /particle.
Yes, we all know this.
In a command. Tilde. I'm sure you. So this means it's still really lame.
Oh, yo.
Okay, well.
Yo. Real quick, yeah, let me try that delta. Let's see if that will do anything. If type error raycast. Oh, what the heck? It's gotta loop back into itself. Okay. I don't know how to slow down the raycast though. Whatever. We can figure that out later. For now, we gotta figure out how to make that infinite fireball that this guy made.
Well, that's what the next 40 billion arguments are for. After the first set of coordinates, it looks like you should just be able to enter another set of coordinates. But do not be fooled. This is the delta.
Hey, this is the delta.
In mathematics, the word delta usually means something like difference. This defines how spread out the particles will be.
Okay, I'll do a decimal.
0, 0 for now, because once we add the delta, we also need to specify the speed and...
Okay, let me just make a new thing called, cough. Nope. Let's call this one eBlast. .mc function. You know the eBlast, right? Oh, I guess I could name it Raycast. You're right. But I'm pretty sure it gets mad at me for doing that. Watch. Now here, if I make raycast.mc function... Oh, I guess not. I see. Well, that's good to know. Let's get this. That's cool. Where is that? And we want it to be a decimal. So position is 0.1. Haha. Now I just need a particle. Particle which do 0.125, 0.125, 0.125. I don't need the carrots here. What was the next step? Speed of 0. Count 100. Yep. That's not going to lag the server at all. Okay. Slash function. Powers. Psychic. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Ta-da! Function. Powers. Psychic. That's weird. It's not doing it from my head. Huh. Oh. Nope. Hey, Wumbo. Welcome to the lurk. What the heck? What is happening? Okay. That's cool and all. Let's figure out particles first.
Count. Speed is usually pretty simple. It just means how fast the particles are moving in
Yeah.
any random direction. I'll leave it at 0 for now. Our final argument is count. This is how many particles we want to spawn. I'll set it to something really high, like 1,000 for demonstration purposes. Now if we run our command, that's 1,000 flame particles in one place.
That's
Not
1,000.
very impressive. However, we can use the delta to spread them out.
Delta?
If we want the flame particles to spread out 1 block up and 1 block down, you'd think we could set the Y value of our delta to 1. That is definitely not 1 block. According to the wiki, these delta coordinates are multiplied by quote, about 8.
About 8?
They aren't evenly distributed across the shape. Instead, using a Gaussian distribution. And with that, we are now thoroughly out of my depth. This just means it uses a fancy function so that there are more particles at the center and less at the edges. Okay, so the multiplied by 8 thing is probably done to balance out the fact that there's less particles towards the edges. If we wanted a sphere of particles that was actually 1 block wide, then we should set our delta to 0.125, or 1/8 of a block, in each direction. Then if we spawn a ton of particles, it should look like a sphere. Yep, that looks about right. Finally, at the end of your particle command, you have the option of choosing what mode you want these particles to be displayed in. Force or normal. Normal is the default and means particles will be hidden if players have their particles turned off. Use this for any purely aesthetic particles, so people with slower computers can save some frames. Force makes your particles show up even if players have particles disabled. This should only, and always, be used when particles are an important part of gameplay. For example, if you can tell what team someone's on based on a particle effect, or see an invisible player with a particle effect, you should force the particles so people play. But what can this all be used for? Well, if you put it in a repeating command block, you can get some great ambient effects. Here I used the warped spore particle around this frog. I think it looks like flies buzzing. Cool effect on other particles too. It makes the delta act not as spread. Setting the count to 0 has a cool effect on other particles too. It makes the delta act not as spread, but as direction for the speed. For example, setting the delta to 1, 0, 0 and the speed to 0.2 means the particle will move at...
Really? Is that true? A flamethrower? I can make a flamethrower? Is this true? 1, 0, 0, 0.2, 100. Count 0. Okay. Nope. Oh. I see. Let's actually move this 10. Woohoo! You know? Huh. I don't know exactly. But if it were me, 10's too fast. Okay. No, it doesn't fire where I'm looking. That's sad. That would have been cool, though. Yeah, I don't know how to set the delta to... Whatever. This is all cool and all.
At a speed of 0.2 towards positive x.
What's next?
Is that it? Are we done? Oh, wait! There's also the dust particle. Bet you never thought you'd hear someone so excited about a dust particle, huh? This particle has the same RGB abilities as Entity Effect.
Okay, so let me show you the cool thing about dust particles.
Effect does makes it suitable for full color RGB displays.
That's the cool part about dust particles.
Creative people on the internet have been doing this for ages, but it would be a crime not to mention it.
And here,
there were various
look at
generators
that.
and softwares people
Look at
made
that.
to convert images, 3D models, and even
This is insane.
videos to Minecraft
Yeah.
dust
Never gonna
particle
give you up.
animations. I'm not going to cover making that stuff in this tutorial, but if you subscribe and it sounds like there's interest, I just might make another particle tutorial soon. There. Now you know everything there.
So I don't know how to do the 3D modeling or the video, but... Epsilon, you're still here, right? You want to see something cool? So... You're familiar with your Minecraft skin, because you have your Minecraft skin, I'm assuming. Where is... Here it is. Okay. And you know how you have super speed on the server, right? Well, watch this. Whew. Epsilon after image. Woo! It doesn't quite keep up with you. It's not, like, perfect, but it's just your back. It would be super laggy to make it perfect, so this was the best I could do. It just follows you, and when you jump, it's even better. As you can see, super speed Epsilon. Yeah. Let's set that back. Okay. That would be super challenging, Delta. Now, what does our friend Legitimus here have to say?
There is to know about the particle command. Do you feel powerful? You should.
I should. No, I need to know how to recast. Where is Minecraft Raycast?
I'm just kidding, I'll show you. So, what we're doing, do it really fast. If it then the entity board for with Raycast. I posted a video on this a couple days ago. It's my the video right before this. There's the little tiny dots. That's our representation of the bullet trail, and you know we have zombies. So here the zombie falls, and if I shoot it, it kills the zombie. And
Oh, never mind. We don't want that. I thought it was gonna be cool, you know, like.
Word objectives.
Whatever.
Play another command. It moves it back up. So these two cancel. Move that simple.
Yeah. That command's a little too simple for me, because I can't have something move across the raycast. Oh well, Eldritch Blast is actually more difficult than I thought it would be.
What if I told you there was a method of detecting right clicks that was easier to set up than the carrot on a stick? Hey, if you clicked on this video, I am
Easier to set up than carrot on a stick? What?
going to assume that you're interested in learning how to detect when someone presses the right mouse button in the... So to start off, we're going to be going with the classic right-click detection method of going into your controls, setting the 9th hotbar slot to right-click, and then when a player right-clicks, you just detect when their slot is on
Genius.
number 9, and okay, on to the real stuff. Let's start with the method all the cool kids are raging about, carrot on a stick. Now, what solve any of these problems?
Carrot on a
We'll get to
stick.
those. So how do you go about actually detecting when this nice old carrot thing on the sidebar
How to code
goes
carrot?
up? Well,
Nope.
I'll show you. It's real simple.
Detecting
You're gonna
any
wanna make
item
yourself a nice data
with a
set.
carrot on a stick.
Is to put the carrot or fungus in your offhand only when you're holding a certain item. There are a
Ooh,
couple of
this one's a cool
archaic
one.
methods that involve detecting right clicks on entities, such as a villager. There is a scoreboard statistic called minecraft.custom::minecraft.talk-to-villager, and you can use this to detect whenever you open the trade menu of a villager. But wait, it gets better.
Eye of
Even
Ender?
If a villager like this doesn't have any trades,
Eye
it
of
will
Ender.
still count as talking to the villager in the sidebar over here. So we can actually detect whenever you talk to a villager. This is useful for when you don't want to be tied to a specific item like a carrot or fungus on a stick, but rather tied to like a specific location. We summon a villager here that is no AI and silent with this command in the description. Whenever we right-click this guy, we'll be able to get our number up. Now we could put him, for example, inside a block that we want to detect right-clicks on. Of course, you'd want to make this guy invisible, but I trust you know how to do that. The commands for this method are virtual. There is a certain circumstance
Armor
where the
stands.
best kind of right-click detection you can have is detecting when you give an item to an armor stand. So I'd like you to think to yourself, what advantages could this have if I told you there was a method of
Okay,
detecting
let's go with
right
Eye of
clicks
Ender.
that was easier to set up than the carrot on a stick, several times faster, more precise, and more lag friendly. That's right. we're
Lag
gonna talk
friendly?
about the
I
black
love it.
sheep of right-click detection, Ender Eye detection. First off, why would you want to detect the right-click of an Ender Eye over right-clicking of a carrot on the stick or a fungus on a stick? It is fast. Now, what does that even mean? Well, keep an eye on that scoreboard on the right side of the screen. If I hold down right-click with a carrot on a stick, you can see it increases at a moderate pace. But if I wanted to detect whether or not I am holding down right-click right now, that would be kind of a challenge. Now, let's switch over to this Eye of Ender I've rigged up and hold down the right-click button. That is increasing the number every single
So that's
tick.
cool, but how do you?
20 ticks per second, baby. How do you set this up? There's not a scoreboard objective for detecting throwing an Eye of Ender. What you have to do is use an advancement. Good old reliable miso.github.io. Link in the description. All
What?
right, here we are. We're gonna just slap together a Ender Eye detection thingy. Under criteria, I'm gonna type in a name. Eye doesn't really matter. Hit the plus button. Then I'm going to select my criteria. Down here, scroll to the bottom.
How do you-
Weirdly enough,
how do you
it's
not throw the Eye of
used
Ender?
Eye. That is not gonna work for our purposes.
Used
No, no.
Ender Eye?
You want using item. Add a condition and add an item to that condition. Then click the plus next to items and type in Minecraft_Ender Eye. All right, this is our advancement. This is going to activate whenever we right-click
Oh,
with the
nice.
Eye of Ender. Now, in order to have this call a function, we have to add a reward, which
Okay.
there's a spot called function. You can name your function anything you want. Just make sure it's the same in your data pack. Then we're gonna go over here, copy our function, go into ye old Visual Studio Code, and maybe add a scoreboard for this. Scoreboard objectives add I dummy, just in our load.mc function. Now, if you don't have an advancements folder in your namespace, you're gonna need to create one. So click on your namespace, make sure functions is not selected.
Advancements.
And add a folder called advancements. Inside this, create a folder, call it, I don't know, i.json, and paste in your advancement. Beautiful. We got some errors over here. Those are not real. Now we're going to create our function called
What does he mean those are not real?
i.mc function. And in here,
What does that mean?
is the code that's going to run whenever we right-click. So the first thing you have to do is reset the advancement, because actually you can only get an advancement once. So after you've
One time.
received it, you'll just have to reset it. In this case, with advancement revoke at S only tutorial I, or whatever your function was called. Then we can do whatever code we want. So in this case, I'll say just scoreboard players add at S I1. Now in game, I'm gonna reload, set I to my sidebar, and hold down right click, and there we go. It's counting up. Every time we right click, it does that. You don't really have to bother with resetting the score here because you don't even need to track a score. You could just, you could summon a sheep every time. There we go. This is true power. So now that I've taught you the perfect method of right-click detection, let me just quickly tell you why this is pretty obviously not the perfect method of right-click detection. It's an Eye of Ender. You throw it, it goes to the stronghold. It gets consumed when you right-click. This doesn't work in survival. It only works in worlds that don't have a stronghold. You will see that me right-clicking shows up in the chat. It works perfectly. It doesn't consume the item. It doesn't get thrown towards the stronghold. That's because there is no stronghold in this super flat world. If you ever want to use your data pack in a world that has a stronghold, if you're making something for normal survival, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay,
This is so sad.
now you're a right-click detection god. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
That's so sad. I'm never trusting that guy again. He's a scam artist. I've been scammed. Okay. Now what? What can you right-click in the game? Compass. Nope. A book. A book. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. A spell book. What else can you right click with? Food. A bucket. Milk. Well, I get what has to happen. Ho ho! Ho ho! Ho ho! You could use a spyglass. That's it. Super crooks. What is super crooks? You're... oh, I know what Super Crooks is. Yeah. Okay. A water bottle. Boom. Oh my gosh. The Eye of Ender trick doesn't even work anymore. What, is there a stronghold over this way? Oh, there's a stronghold now, is there? So there's a stronghold right here, is there? That's cool. Found the stronghold. I did it, guys. I found the stronghold. Pretty cool, if I must say. A stick. You can't right-click with a stick. It doesn't do anything. It's pretty cool, Delta. The data pack is an error data pack, it says. So I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. Here's the data pack that lets you fly. It's pretty cool. But, his name is Error? Ah! No! I don't want that. Okay. Why is this power so confusing? Alright, I'll do the first thing I know how to do. Whoa! Look at that. Step 1 complete. Step 2, I need to... This part's very important. Execute at E, position that, if entity, thieving bard, sigmation. Run. I don't need this. And this should be item. At S. TP at S2. One second. That's insane. Look at that. I've extended the reach of how you can pick up items. Ooh, step 1 of Neko's power is already complete. That's insane. Whee! One second, I have to... That's a problem. Alright, so if an item is positioned from anti-sigmation of a distance from 0 to 6, then, yeah, I think I just did it backwards. That's all it was. Now, if I throw this... If I do this and I fly away... That's weird. Delta, help. So, execute at entity item positioned on the ground. If an entity at a sigmation is within 6, then it should run TP at the item to sigmation. Right? Watch. It kind of works. But there's a problem, because if I do this, I just get all the items. You know? Yeah. That's easy though, we could just make it that whenever an echo's shifting, they have a longer reach. Okay. Unless... Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. 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 I was being an idiot. That's... I was being an idiot this whole time. Oh, man. I love being an idiot. Okay. I need positioned. Run. TP. Add S. Is it really just that simple? Nope. Okay. Now what? About that far. Works about this far away. Yes, that's the next step. I don't... Okay. Where is... Just for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to make a new function called poof. There we go. Save. Open recent. I'm gonna copy all this. Move this to poof. Then I'm gonna go back to this. Gotta get a load. Yep. Go to the other one again. In a load, we now add sigma. I don't need distance fallen anymore. And I don't need damage taken. I might need death count. Okay. And we'll call this crouch. This is why I'm adding this. Sneak time. And there is also the tick. So, in the tick, that's important. And, so let's make that in the tick. Sigma poof. There we go. I can get rid of fall damage now. And let's rename this to... Nope, I don't need to do that actually. Here we go. Okay. Scoreboard players remove, addy, score, cooldown, name, sigmation, cooldown 1. Executive entity, armor stand, name, teleport. Run function powers poof teleport. Raycast. Okay. What else do I need to do to fix this? Let's see. There is one thing I have to do real quick. And let's see. Oops, the wither lasts too long. Okay. How do I test for player respawn? That's the part that matters. Yo, Wumbo's still here, still lurking. Good old Wumbo. Okay, so I just have to reset death count. Thank you, Wumbo. Good luck to you as well. Wait, this is already... Yeah. Wither 1-1. Name equals type player. Who needs that? Okay. And then attribute max health base set 5. Um, ten. Oh. Okay. Probably. If you somehow gave the zombie your book, ooh, who knows? That could be terrifying. Okay. Oh. This is actually different than this. That was the problem. Ooh! Always at 5 hearts. I did it. Okay. Half health Sigma. There we go. Oh boy. This is fun. Okay. I am close to getting this done.
Dang it, you caught me. I was just waving at your screen. Bye, stream.
Why isn't particle working?
I'm just spinning. I'll show you. So
Particle barrier isn't a thing anymore? They removed it? I see. It's a display, list, cooldown. Okay. Sidebar. What else is there? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. One second. Delta, help. You're still here, right, Delta? Which one do I move? Ah, right here. Let's move that to 2. Nope. I need help with stuff, Delta, and I believe you're the man for the job. Huh. Position. One. Two. I just need to move the position from my lower body up to my head. Where does it originate from? Okay. Two. .35. Huh. Delta has left me. Oh well. I might just call that a day then. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll figure this out later. And hope you have a good rest of this day. This is Sigma signing out.